All right, I don't even know how we should do this. I basically broke some of the questions down into different categories, and we can just go through them. And
what did you think about all the people, GP?
You know what? Honestly, on day one, when I walked into the hall for the first time, I think out loud,
you immediately walked back out.
I think I said out loud, "Fuck this shit," is what I said.
I was in the same boat.
But as the show went on, and I realized that you booked so many appointments that we didn't really have much time to walk around the show floor just exploring. It didn't really affect us at all, other than we did have appointments that were started right when the show starts at 10 o'clock. So we were worried that we wouldn't be able to get to them. So we lined up at, I would say, like 9:15.
Yeah, that's about right.
But then to compensate for the crowds, the show did let people in 15 minutes early. So we were not late for any of our appointments, but I feel like if we didn't line up so early, we probably would have been, maybe, or it would have been more stressful.
It would have been more stressful. I was pretty happy with getting gushers and fruit by the foot thrown at us.
It was very entertaining to watch the attendees get hit in the face by candy because they weren't looking in the direction of the guy throwing them. And you just hear, like, every once in a while, you hear like a whap. And it was like, oh, that's a fruit roll-up hitting a guy in the head. But no, I feel that they could easily accommodate this many people, or they could do a better job of accommodating these people next year if they just put some planning into it. Clearly, there was really no planning put into this other than having Jeff Keighley do a show in the theater sort of next to E3.
Right. I feel like a few of the booths were designed to accommodate this, but all the rest of them were just the standard booths that have been there for years.
Right.
But yeah, I scheduled the hell out of the show. We
were busy.
Yeah. We saw good stuff too. I was very happy with our time at E3.
You did a good job. Kudos.
I would overhear the general public, the folks that paid their money to be there, and it seemed like most of them were still having a good time, but they could have been having a better time.
Yes. I mean, I asked a few people because we would, we'd have fans come up to us, and that was a good opportunity to ask them what they thought of the show, whether they thought it was worth the $250. I didn't hear anybody say that they were not satisfied. They admitted that it was crowded, but I think it's still very exciting for people who haven't been to E3 before to be there in any capacity. So but yes, they could have had a better time if the show was managed better. Clearly, the convention center has a lot more space that they could have opened up to have merchants or have the panels actually on site. Could have had a lot more panels. I think
what do you think about security at this? Like, I know there's been several articles that are written about it now, and I honestly was thinking about that when we were there.
Yep, me too.
It's hard not to, because there's no bag checks.
Nope.
There's no metal detectors.
Nope. They've had them in the past. I remember bag checks and metal detectors. Maybe not metal detectors.
Maybe I don't remember metal detectors since I've been going, but the amount of people that they need to try to get in to this thing would make. They need to do something about it, though, I think.
Yeah, nothing is not. They had some bomb dogs around there.
Sure.
But not enough.
There's nothing that would stop anybody from bringing a gun in there.
No.
Like, even deter anybody from it.
I saw a bunch of cops walking around.
Yeah. But
I mean, not a huge amount, but I know it was definitely noticeable.
Like that first day, you couldn't take a step, like a normal step, because there was just so many people like in the hall. Right. You were just packed in. Like a lot could have gone wrong there.
Oh yeah, the aisles were not wide enough. If there was a fire or something, or somebody was firing
I'm
something.
not generally a person that worries about that stuff, and this got me thinking about it.
Death trap.
Right, and like if you go to the press conferences, if you go to other events like around E3, all of those have bag checks and metal detectors now.
Because they're run by big companies who are conscious about these things, and they don't
Right.
be liable.
I think I'm hoping E3 takes a good look at this. I've seen them respond a little bit to the questions, and those responses have not been what I'm necessarily looking for.
They're like, "Oh, we got this,
right?
There's no problem." Yeah, they could do more, and certainly with all that extra money coming in, they could probably afford it. And
Are they getting that much more extra money, or is it just to make up for the people that didn't come back?
No, they had 15,000 people paying $150 to $250. That's not nothing.
How many
do the math
people?
on that? 15,000.
15,000 times, let's say 200. Split the difference.
Well, if they spend $250, that's $3.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I feel like the convention center is really big, and there's a lot of space that's not being used. If they opened it up to have more like small merchants booths, like in Kensha Hall, that's even more money they could have coming in. And they could even let in some more people. You have more panels on site. I mean, the place is big. You could have a lot of people there. It's a lot of money. An extra, almost $4 million ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing, huh?
It ain't nothing. All right. Let's talk. Anything else generally you want to talk about E3? I mean, it was fine. I had a good time. I want to thank the members of CAG who are buying things through the website, so I can go to E3 every year and take Ship and take Thorban and take Wombat sometimes and have a really nice time. Obviously, that is not happening without you guys. So I'd like to thank you. And of course, I'd like to thank my family for holding it down while I'm away. Like my parents come over and pick up Ty from the school bus and help out.
Your family listening to this right now?
They usually bail after
Right. This is pretty deep in.
As soon as we start talking about video games, they bail. So usually they're out after the first half hour. But I don't know. I mean, I appreciate that. It couldn't happen without them.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate you taking me every year. It's a good time.
My pleasure.
And I appreciate my bag of stuff that I don't have yet.
It's also my pleasure. I took extra luggage today, so I could bring you the proper amount of stuff. Because
now I just need to find a way to see you.
Really I'm going to see you next week because Ty's going to sleepaway camp, and I'll come into the city for lunch or something.
I was going to say there's also July 4th if you want to come back to my house.
We're out of town actually. We're going somewhere.
Guess who sucks? Don't tell me you're not a little upset that you're going to miss.
It's fun. It's a good time. Of course. It's always a good time at your house.
Yeah. It's the only thing I do. Period. It's the only thing I do.
I like having fireworks explode 10 feet above my head for an hour.
It's pretty awesome. It's like 40X.
It is like 40X with hot dogs. All right.
And tell me how it gets better.
Let's answer some questions from the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
At Lucient2K2 asks, who won E3? Is there a winner? Was there a
gamer?
Right. All of us are winners in more ways than one. It was interesting. After the Microsoft press conference, I think I felt that, wow, they,
left the door open.
The door was pretty wide open for Sony to come in and, really put the nail in the coffin or, choose your...
They were both very underwhelming press conferences.
I actually enjoyed the Sony press conference. I didn't think I was blown away by it, but I thought it was a very entertaining presentation if you're in the audience.
What? Oh, you're talking about just the fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, I like the stage
It's just
show.
a bunch of trailers.
No, but I like the stage. They do always have a stage.
Yeah, they were
show.
Good trailers. I'm not.
They were good trailers. They were games that I wanted to play. I was actually surprised when I were getting all the feedback from people saying that they thought the Sony press conference was shitty.
There just wasn't any. There weren't any news or announcements.
No, it was just trailers. I mean, this is. I guess these press conferences have really been heading in that direction since the age of YouTube and Twitch. Like every year, there's less guys on stage talking and more videos of games.
Right. And people complained about that, but I kind of like the guys talking because it tells you something. It like gives you an idea of like what the company's up to. Like I kind of liked the graphs and stuff era.
You would.
I would. I'm just being honest. I get that it's all about the games, but I don't. Their presentation was so like minimalistic this year of just like literally just trailer after trailer, not even like telling you anything about the games. Just like here's the studio and here's the trailer, and then after that we're gonna do another one of those.
Yep. I didn't mind, honestly. It was over in an hour. They had some good food beforehand. I enjoyed the experience. Like I was surprised that people did not like it, and they also thought people kept tweeting at me that they thought that the reactions from people in the crowd there were very subdued, but I didn't get that at all. I thought people were clapping a lot.
They would clap mainly when the studio icons came, like the logos came up on screen. That was like the biggest applause every time, and then you would watch the trailer and it would get a somewhat of a reaction. It's hard for me to clap. Like I don't clap at my TV. like if I'm watching something on TV that I enjoy,
right.
I'm not like clapping at it.
Right. If there's a guy on stage saying something that you find positive or
right, I'm willing to like support him a little bit. Just like giving him a few claps. Like I don't know.
But clapping for the Spider-Man trailer is like a little weird.
Right. It's not like I go to a movie theater and clap for the trailers before the movie I'm watching.
Some people do that, though.
No one claps for trailers.
No? Like Star Wars trailers, they do.
Maybe. I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. All I know is that I watched both of those from home, and they were fine. I thought the Nintendo one was good.
That was even shorter. Well, it was good because they showed Mario. If they didn't show Mario, you would have been like, what is this shit? Well,
yeah, but that's what they needed to show. And it's also not only that, but it's coming out this year.
That is true.
So it's like, here's something that's really cool, and it's going to be out this year. I was also pleasantly surprised by the Mario Rabbids game.
Yeah.
I played it.
It's like XCOM for dummies.
I know. And I'm a dummy, and I like XCOM. So... explain to me where I'm not supposed to like this game.
I could already hear the the Twitter comments about that.
Going back to the question about who won E3, Ubisoft has to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be making a lot of games that will make a lot of money.
I'm surprised they're making a Toys to Life game, but yes, everything else seems to be.
They are? What are they making?
Some rocket ship game where you buy rocket ships.
I didn't watch their conference stuff.
Oh, they're coming out with some rocket ship game where you buy rocket ships, and then you can buy add-ons for your rocket ships to change the way your ship looks in the game. And it's a cute idea. It's just, I think, like 5 years too late.
Right. Still waiting on the Nintendo one.
Yeah, but then again, this is the same company that showed laser tag one year at E3. So, remember that? Remember Ubisoft's laser tag game?
And U-Draw. Didn't they do U-Draw?
No, that was THQ.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yes, I remember the Wonder Book. Remember that 45 minutes of your life you'll never get back?
Oh, see, they've learned at least that shit is not entertaining to watch. Like,
A, it's not entertaining to watch, and B, it was a disaster from the get-go. Like, why? What are you thinking?
It wasn't a great idea.
It was a bad idea. No Kinect. No connected E3.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
No. That's been dead for a while.
That's a super dead thing.
That is a super dead thing. So to answer who won E3?
The gamer.
I would say that like Microsoft and Sony
did not win.
I don't know. I bet Sony
did just because they're
winning. Because they're already winning, generally speaking.
Right.
I feel like they're already winning, and they showed a lot of they showed a few exclusive games. Of course, yeah, they're not coming out in the near future, or this year rather, but they look pretty awesome. God of War, Spider-Man, and what's the other one?
Days Gone.
People aren't so hyped on Days Gone.
I am not hyped on Days Gone. I am not hyped on. I don't know if I'm really into the new God of War. I don't want the God of The Last of Us. I don't want that.
That Uncharted game, Lost Legacy, that looks pretty good.
That looks so good that I actually went back and started playing more of Uncharted 4, which I got. I hadn't even made it up to the Jeep area. Remember?
Oh, you hadn't? That's like when the game starts.
Right. So I'm now at the...
Wow. I didn't realize you were so far behind in that game.
So far. But now they have the PlayStation 4 Pro updates. I am at the Jeep area now. And that game's fantastic. I don't know why it didn't click with me before. Maybe it was just too much Uncharted in my recent timeline. But, that's a great game. It's really well done. And it looks fucking amazing on the Pro.